Hey everyone, my name is Pupsker, and today in Warframe, we're going to go over everything you need to know about the game if you're starting right now. Overall, Warframe is a game that has now had 10 plus years of development put into it, so reminder that it is a very large game and it is not the most new player friendly. So with that, let's talk about what exactly the game is. Overall, it is a third-person shooter, can be first-person shooter, looter shooter game where the main objective of the game is to complete everything, right? Collect all the weapons, collect all the Warframes, which are characters, customize things however you see fit, destroy everything in the game, complete all of the stories, and get all of the unlocks that you possibly want. Like with any ongoing looter shooter type game, you'll pretty much catch up to the game as long as you're actively playing it, and once you get to the end of the game, you just wait for updates or continue farming stuff that you like or customizing your build. So that's generally what Warframe is for people. Very social, a lot of people to talk to, groups of up to 4 players, clans, friends, etc, etc. So there's a lot to do and many bosses to kill. So if you like that type of gameplay, of course, take a look and maybe you'll like it. Okay, let's now talk about the starting objectives of Warframe. When you start the game, the general starting objectives is find out and collect everything, find out everything on the map, complete the story quests, etc. I would say first and foremost, you should follow along the general main storyline of quests, and then that will unlock a good chunk of the game for you. Warframe is a completionist's game, so you do want to do everything at least once if you're gonna have a good time, up until Angels of the Zariman or the New War or Duviri Paradox. You want to get it all done. Starting off, you'll have nothing unlocked on Earth. You'll just start right here. So you'll slowly branch out, complete the objectives on any of the junctions. You'll complete all of those, and you'll slowly unlock every planet in the game. With that, you'll be able to then unlock more Warframes because most assassination missions and each planet will almost always have a new Warframe to unlock. You can then unlock more weapons, and you'll start progressing through the game until you unlock the entirety of the star chart, Duviri Paradox, as well as Railjack, which is a space combat more game mode overall, but it's still Warframe. And then you'll just start getting everything. So that should be your main starting objectives in the game. Quickly talking about just the storyline for Warframe is very confusing and a little weird for sure. It can get very just thrown around and confusing as you complete it, because the time between completing certain main story quests and getting certain bits of lore and understanding can take so long that you might actually just forget about what's going on. So you can always go to your codex, click on previous missions, get little bits of cinematics and ideas of what's going on and what happened, but there's not the best TLDR in the game or anything. So you might want to Google around whenever you do some new story stuff to try and remember what happened previously. But if you remember, that's great. The game has a lot of main story quests, but it also has a lot of side story quests. So if you just want to get the main story done, that's fine, nothing wrong with that. But if you want to get some side quests done, usually that'll reward you with like a Warframe or a weapon or some sort of other side unlock. But there are a ton of main missions to unlock things that you will have to do, and that will take time, as you can see from all of these quests listed right here. The next thing I want to talk about is everybody in Warframe should join a clan. Then you can go to your clan in this section, the bottom left of the star chart right here. Warframe is also finally trying to unlock some more clan stuff to do, such as clan operations. So Warframe makes it a big deal to join a clan, and the earlier the better. Unlocking a clan unlocks a ton of things that you can do. You can trade in your clan, and then from there there's a ton of clan rooms to unlock stuff. It's easier to talk to people and join into random public groups if you so need to. But again, the most important part of a clan is the fact that you can unlock rooms and get a bunch of different Warframes and weapons in here, such as like the Grenier area here. Look at all of the weapons you unlock from there. Each one of these rooms almost has a good chunk of Warframes and or weapons and other items even that you can unlock. We can go to the Biolab, take a look all there, like look at that. So unlocking a clan is very important. Chem Lab, that was the Grenier one, yeah. And I would recommend doing it as soon as possible because the amount of stuff you get out of there, here's the Warframe one, is just too high. You get Warframes, weapons, access to easier trading. You can always trade in the game, but easier trading. And access to knowledge, more unlocks in general. You have later on Railjack, Sister, Lich Parvos trading, all of that. But that all comes later. So joining a clan in Warframe is very important. And again, I would recommend you do it as soon as possible. Warframe, luckily, is getting better about it, so if you're not in a clan yet, you can go to the clan area, and you can search for clans to join if they are doing the advertise clan thing from here. They essentially advertise out their clan for 12 hours, and you can go and try and apply to join them, and if they accept you, they accept you. If not, you can always ask around region chat or any of the chats in-game for certain clan invites. So it's usually not that hard to get a clan invite, so hopefully that helps everyone. Just remember, join a clan. Next, I wanted to talk about prime Warframes and weapons. In Warframe, a prime version of something is generally just a better version of it. In Warframe's case, you can have regular Warframes such as Ash, and then you can have the prime version, Ash Prime. Ash Prime straight up is going to be better than Ash, not in regards to their ability, but in regards to their health. They'll either have more health, energy, armor, move speed usually, and once in a while they'll have maybe something else, but usually they'll also have an added polarity or two added onto their mod slots while you build them. So prime variants of Warframes are just straight up slightly better stat variants. It's not like an insane boost, but once you unlock a prime variant of a Warframe, you don't necessarily need the non-prime variant anymore. So Warframe added a helminth system where you can eat Warframes, so I would recommend everyone keeps the original Warframe once you build a prime version, if you can afford to, via in-game slots, Warframe slots, because then later on, once you unlock the helminth, they can eat them. The helminth unlocks an ability from that Warframe. But I wanted to talk about primes in the regards that they are just better versions. Everything in Warframe you can generally build, and to unlock primes in Warframe, you just have to farm up in-game relics and then start unlocking these relics via relic fissures and fissures in-game. Or I should say, like, are they relic fissures? Yeah, void fissures in-game, that's the word. So just playing the game, you'll unlock a ton of relics, and then you'll have to specifically open up those relics. The way Warframe works is primes in the game are constantly going through a rotation of being able to be farmed in-game. So you're constantly able to farm new primes as well as different primes 24/7 in-game via the prime release schedule and prime resurgence. So you can usually farm a prime frame. If not, you can trade for one or just hope someone in the game is farming for the one that is currently unfarmable via relics. So you have to farm the relics before they get kind of pushed away into a vault, but they're always unlockable again at a later date. So it's weird unlocking primes when you're early on into the game, and I would recommend running public relics in order to get a large variety of different primes. But that being said, primes are just usually better variants. Prime weapons sometimes can be a worse variant than the main weapon, but that usually doesn't happen. But it does happen sometimes, so keep that in mind. Now I wanted to go over how you can get mastery rank, aka your Warframe account levels in the game. If you just look at your profile, you can scroll over to your mastery rank and see that is the mastery rank breakdown of a player myself who has almost everything unlocked in the game. But again, there's things that are constantly unlocking, and I don't have unlimited time to play the game and farm, and I want to make videos more so than farm the game sometimes. So this is my current mastery rank breakdown. Essentially, Most things that you can unlock and level up in the game will get you mastery rank. Warframes, weapons, secondaries, melees, kit guns, as well as completing the star chart missions, completing Steel Path, as well as getting intrinsics leveled up and increased in the game will get you mastery rank. So if you're doing railjack or drifter stuff, leveling up those intrinsics will get you mastery rank, and just leveling up anything with a experience bar essentially will get you mastery rank. Only for the very first time you level it to max rank though. Additional re-leveling items via Forma is only to make them stronger or better, until you start unlocking certain weapons such as Tenet weapons, such as Kuva weapons, the Paracesis, a certain subset of weapons that can get to level 40 if you put in 5 formas to them. Then you just gotta put 5 formas into those, get them to level 40, and you will get the maximum amount of master rank from there. You cannot re-level items to get master rank again from them. Master rank is a one-time unlock thing, and that is your general account unlock. You get more unlocks as you get a higher master rank. You can equip and do more things up to a certain point, and then it just increases a lot of your daily sort of allowances, as well as getting you a one-time type of drop. So master rank and leveling in the game is very important, so I would recommend you do that casually as you play the game and try a variety of Warframes and weapons. Baro Katir is a vendor in Warframe that spawns every 2 weeks from Friday morning to Sunday morning, depending on, of course, where you live. The vendor of Baro Katir is how you get primed mods, which are just straight up better variant versions of base mods. And in order to know where Baro Katir is spawning, it's pretty simple. He always spawns in a relay in-game. Those are just in-game social hubs where you can also buy some things and unlock some items. And you will always get in-game mail from Baro Katir to know where Baro Katir is spawning. Once Baro spawns, you'll get mail. It'll tell you where Baro is for a couple of days, and then the mail will go away. I forgot that it does end up look like it does delete itself, so yeah, a little important to keep that in mind. But you do get a lot of general mail and information in game through your mailbox, so remember to watch that. And Baro as a vendor is pretty simple. You give him ducats, which is an item, and he gives you the generally primes, etc., so forth, okay? So all you have to do is go to these sort of ducat kiosks, talk to those, give the ducat kiosk prime parts, and then you get ducats. Different values from different items, and these are the items you get from the different relics. So all you have to do is unlock those relics and hand them in, talk to Baro, get prime mods and different items. Again, every 2 weeks, Friday to Sunday. This is the Codex in Warframe. The Codex is the general knowledge base in Warframe where you can get all information in game, or at least a ton of information. You can look at all of your quests and info around the quest there. You can look at all the universe and info around here, as well as where to get certain items sometimes, not weapons, but like relics. It tells you where to get drops, as well as some arcane. So if you need to know where to get certain things, you can always go to the Codex if you're curious, or you can of course Google it. I'm going to recommend that later. But the Codex is in Warframe, where all of the information will be. Liverians are just Warframe areas that give you lore. This is just general info on everything in the game. There's training if you ever need it, as well as mission information if you're ever curious on what missions are, how to do them, and a little bit of a TLDR lore bump there. So if you like missions, there you go. You can take a look at any of the lore in-game, possibly in the Codex, but it could be more comprehensive. But either way, yeah, you will probably still need to Google stuff, but that's the Codex there in Warframe. This is the market in Warframe. This is where you can both buy weapons, Warframes, items, premium items, cosmetics, as well as buy blueprints. A lot of people don't know this starting Warframe. If you go in here, you can go to Warframes right here, but there are filters in the top left now. You can hide items you own, which I would recommend. You can hide items you've mastered, which I would recommend because that just means you've completely leveled it up. And you can hide items without blueprints. What that means is you can buy blueprints from the market in order to build weapons and warframes. So always, if you're not looking to spend platinum, click hide items without blueprints. The game's a little shady because it doesn't show you the blueprint price, but if you click on Ash right here, you can see that Ash has a blueprint that you can buy. From there, you'll just farm up the Ash Neuroptics chassis and systems blueprint and then build those as well. That works for all of these Warframes right here. You can buy the Warframe blueprint as well as a ton of weapons. Most weapons are easier to build because you just click on the weapon, click the blueprint, boom, those are the resources and items you need to then build the weapon, then you get the weapon. So weapon building in Warframe is a lot easier, and you can get a ton of Warframes, weapons, companions, and other items in the game, in-game market via blueprints and then building them in the in-game foundry. So keep that in mind. Hide mastery, hide owned, and hide items without blueprint in the market, and then go free. It does cost credits, so you'll need to farm in-game credits a lot, but that'll happen over time once you unlock the index in-game and once you figure out more meta credit farming spots. So give it time. In Warframe, you can trade items between players as well as the premium currency platinum that you use to buy pretty much everything that you want in the game. There's an in-game trading chat, and here you can always check out and see what people are selling for high prices, low prices, etc. People like selling arcanes, prime weapons, prime warframes, prime junks. Prime junk, I should say. They like selling anything they can possibly get their hands on. So always take a look at the trading chat over here to see what people are buying and selling. And if you have anything you want to sell, throw it out to trading chat, as well as you can go to websites such as warframe.market to trade. But there's more. Warframe has a dedicated trading terminal area on Mars. It is called Maru's Bazaar. This is a little public trading area where you can go, fly on down, and you can list items to trade such as primes, etc. So if we quickly run down there, we'll be able to see there will be a handful of people, and they'll just be standing around having an open shop. They'll be essentially that public trading chat, but standing around in one area just trying to sell items. So it's a pretty cute area of a public trade, but a lot of people don't really use it. As you can see, it's pretty barren. For a game with so many people, only having around 10 to 20 people publicly standing around trying to sell items, ribbons, primes, etc. It's just kind of sad. So Maru's Bazaar does kind of suck, and I would mainly stick to selling things via trading chat or sell things via warframe.market, the website. So hopefully that does help. In game in Warframe, this is the Foundry. This is where you will build everything in Warframe. You can build as many things as you want as one time. I myself am just building my daily forma, but you can build anything you want. There is essentially all of the things to build in this game. This is where you can build every single Warframe, weapon, companion almost, and all in-game non-pay-to-grab type cosmetics and side objectives. You can build 72,000 things at the same time in theory if you want to. So yeah, a couple things people know to do or do not know about the Foundry. I wouldn't recommend rushing most things with the premium currency platinum, but sometimes people like to rush things like Warframes because they take longer and because people are impatient. But hey, nothing really wrong with that. Of course, you can build and have everything stationed and ready to build in your Foundry if you are low on inventory space. You do not have to pick something up from the Foundry once it's built. It can stay in the Foundry. So if you have 72 weapons just waiting to be picked up in the Foundry, that is okay. Nothing wrong with that. You can look at arcanes in the Foundry by clicking that little arcane button. It looks like it's bugging out and it shows you to go over there now, never mind. But you can also look at all the little components, which is building materials essentially, in the Foundry. And it has a search bar, so if there's anything you want to search for, you can always just do that. So keep that in mind. It's a very nice little system it's got going there. Warframe is a very big and confusing game that's been going on for over 10 years now at this point, which means that it's a very heavy wiki game. You're going to want to look up a lot of information, which is just how to farm things, how to get this, how to unlock that, on things such as the Wikipedia. There's a lot of other websites to go on, such as the Warframe forums. You can 100% always look up YouTube guides and videos. Me and many others have made hundreds, if not thousands, tens of thousands of guides in the game on how to complete XYZ, how to build a Warframe weapon, mods, what mods they like, hate, what weapons are good, bad, top 10s, top 15s, right? A lot of info is online on the wikis, on YouTube, and on all the other websites, so it is a very heavy wiki game, Google games, search game, so keep that in mind and don't worry about it too much. It is a very information dense game, so keep that in mind. Last but not least, everyone, is the eternal grind of Warframe. Warframe goes through cyclical updates of every 3 months on average. They'll have a new Warframe, they'll have a new Prime Warframe, and they'll have some new weapons. So the grind of Warframe will never end. They'll have big yearly updates, they have a yearly convention, there will always be more things to do, because that means there are going to be at least 8 new Warframes to farm every year, 4 primes and 4 base variants. That means there will be at least 2 new sets of weapons, 4 primes and 4 base variants. Maybe not necessarily always sets, maybe sometimes it'll just be 1 weapon, but there will always be at least 8 more weapons added to the game every year, along with more additional updates, quests, and new story lore. Every year in Warframe, there's tens, if not hundreds of hours of new shenanigans to do, builds to try on Warframe, so this game is an eternal grind. It'll never end. The story will never end until the company is dead or the game's dead. People stop caring. So that's it. That's the eternal grind of Warframe. Y'all need to keep that in mind. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, if it helped at all, subscribe, like, favorite, and check out any of my social medias. I'm Pupsker pretty much everywhere with the attempted same profile picture, all linked in the description down below. So thank you all so much for joining me, and I will see you next time. Cheers.